And for our final story, let's look into China's debt diplomacy and how Africa is feeling the weight of it. A new report has revealed that Chinese finance has undergone a great reversal. Beijing has become a net extractor of finance from low and middle income countries. And guess who is bearing the brunt of China's great reversal? Africa. China is the world's second largest economy and Africa's largest bilateral lender, but over the past decade, its engagement with the continent has changed. Beijing has shifted from being Africa's top lender to a debt collector. Let's look at the numbers. Between 2010 and 2014, the African continent received over $30 billion from China. But over the last 5 years, it has paid out over $22 billion to Beijing. Another report published by Boston University showed that China's lending to Africa fell to about $2 billion in 2024. That from nearly $29 billion in 2016. So, what does this mean? Well, African nations are paying more to China than they are receiving. Expensive debt service payments threaten to cut into domestic funding, making it harder for governments to fund public services. China has long dominated development finance in Africa. In the early 2000s, China poured lots of money into Africa. It invested in roads, railways, power plants, and large-scale infrastructure projects. Between 2010 and 2016, the Chinese megaloans funded transformative projects, but also raised concerns over debt sustainability and loan repayment. However, Beijing's priorities in the continent are now shifting from billion-dollar loans to smaller projects. And now that China has stepped back from lending, multilateral institutions like the World Bank have stepped in to fill the void. Despite the shift, China continues to broaden its economic engagements with Africa. Trade between the two reached a record $348 billion last year. Meanwhile, African nations are increasingly ditching the US dollar and turning to the Yuan. Last month, Zambia became the first African country to let Chinese mining companies pay taxes in Yuan, and it probably won't be the last. Kenya has already converted some of its Chinese dollar debts into Yuan, and Ethiopia is in talks to follow suit. China's focus in Africa is shifting from financing growth to managing risk. Beijing is collecting repayments while providing selective funding. How will this shift from Africa's largest bilateral lender impact the continent? The real effects of this pivot will emerge in the months ahead.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, Firstpost America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is Firstpost America.